I got news. I got big news. Let me adjust myself real quick too. I'm a little excited. I have finally beaten Metroid Prime. Yeah, it's true. I finally beat Metroid. It only took me like I don't know, over a year. But I did beat it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If I had to give it a rating, uh we'll go with 7.5 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Metroid Prime was an 8 out of 10 experience. Not 10 out of 10, but still very fun, very enjoyable. I'm gonna play it again at some point. But now I can play all the other games that I've just been sitting on my thumb and farting. I'm in a good mood. I'm a little tired. I'm in a good mood. I I did the thing I set out to do, and that's what matters. This is Todd, and this is the Nothingcast. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be like an archaeologist, like a paleontologist, just digging up stuff, digging up dino bones and shit, dude. Digging up arrowheads, you know? Cool stuff like that. A part of me to this day still wants to like go out and do stuff like that, but I don't know if I necessarily want to make a career out of it. Just that feels like a lot of work for not a whole lot of I don't know. It probably pays well. It's just, no one really talks about oh my god, it's uh Jerry Springer, the famous paleontologist, you don't really hear about famous paleontologists or archaeologists, just isn't that kind of career. I have a buddy who does archaeology, specifically like Native American burial grounds. He'll dig up. He used to dig them up. He doesn't do it anymore. He started seeing a like I don't know how to describe it. It was like I'll describe it the way he described it to me. It was a man, but he was like wearing the skin of a bobcat. So like the bobcat skin was like stretched around the man, and he was like meowing and stuff. And his little dick was hanging between his legs. That was like the only part of the guy that was visible under the bobcat skin. So he kind of, you know, when he stopped doing archaeology, he stopped seeing the bobcat guy. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it. Didn't really, you know, have a lot of cool stories other than that. Um, there was a little girl who was singing Moana on a plane, a delayed flight. That's I've seen various opinions online regarding this, but I'm just gonna lay mine out for you right here. That sounds like hell. That sounds like torture. And I don't know how true it is. I heard it went on for 45 minutes. I've heard between she sang it once, she sang it for 45 minutes. I don't think that matters. I think my flight is already delayed. I'm already late for Thanksgiving. I don't need to hear a song from Moana. Don't get me wrong, the small child did a did a terrific job. It's just, there's a time and a place, and a delayed flight is neither of those things. Apparently, it was like one of the flight attendants' ideas. She was like, "Oh yeah, let's have this little girl sing." And it's like, if you wouldn't do it, why would you have someone else do it? You know, she had a child do it because children can't be criticized. They can, but you look like a dick. But in that situation, really can't criticize the child. You can criticize the flight attendant, and you can criticize the parents. Criticize the parents. Just, I'm not saying you have to, I don't have kids. Sorry, I dropped something. I dropped that dun-da-dun. I don't have kids, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm a parenting expert. But, be respectful is the best thing I can say. Like, be respectful to the people around you. Don't, if you're in a movie theater and your child is crawling through the aisles and making and like squealing, leave. That's all you need to do. You just need to leave. Don't stay for the whole movie. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. It's graduation season, so I've had to go to a few graduations, and I freaking hate it when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my baby. I'm gonna bring my little baby to graduation, so it can see the big siblings who they can't even, you know, baby can't even, figure out what's going on." But yeah, that's real cool of you to bring a baby to a crowded auditorium with loud noises. Oh, the baby's gonna start screaming? Really? That's odd. I had no idea. I had no idea. Don't bring your kids to graduation ceremonies. Don't bring them to bars. I've seen that before, and it ticks me off to no end. Like, I don't know. If your kid can't behave, don't be there. It's not the kid's fault for misbehaving. It's the parents' fault for letting the situation happen. You know? And that's about as far as I'm going to go into it, just because, you know, I'm already I'm already going to have people yelling at me being like, "You're a dick." But that's just an everyday thing for me. I'm just gonna kind of harsh like that, Elon and Trump, they're having a bit of a domestic dispute. Pretty upsetting. Uh, I'm not entirely too sure. I don't keep up with this stuff. Uh, from what I'm hearing, like Trump got Cheeto dust in Elon's keyboard, and then Elon like took Trump's house plant. I don't know. It's all stuff that I just stay out of. Elon, if you don't return my potted plant, I'm gonna wring your little neck. I'm gonna wring your little neck, Elon. I'm not even gonna attempt to do Elon Musk impression. I'm not. Donald Trump is already that impression is already bad enough. I'm not even gonna waste my time with good old Elon. I can't believe it. I put Cheeto dust in. That was retaliation. It was retaliation for the potted plant. You're just cranky about Tesla. What else? I've had a long day. I've been working outside. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. Kind of just want to get a shower and go to bed, but we will never sleep because sleep is for the weak. A couple buddies of mine, went to the Metallica concert. I'm a little jelly of that. I'm a little jelly of that. I was at the Metallica concert. Yeah, but last time I went to a concert was never. I've never been to a concert. I just I went to a concert once, and there's a very loud motorcycle going by. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for it to be done. I think we're good. I think it's passed. I think it's left the area. Uh, the first time I went to a concert, the main singer like burped very loudly into the microphone, and it really scared me. So I never went again. I never went to a concert again. I never went to a concert at all. I I stopped by Walmart as I tend to do, you know, large uh supporter of Walmart. I basically, 50% of their sales are from me. So, my middle name is Mart. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze, dude. Never mind. No, I'm not. I'm good. But I went to Walmart and I saw that they had approximately zero Switch 2s. So much for boycotting that, dude. Everyone was bitching and moaning about how, oh, that's so awful. But they're all gone now. They're all gone. What happened? Uh, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, uh, I think there's things that Nintendo has done wrong, definitely. Uh, but I don't know. I feel like people take these things way too seriously. Am I gonna get it? I've talked about this before. Yeah, I will. But I think it's silly to, I don't know, get up in arms over a game console, you know, for the 15th time, Not like it's the first time this has happened. This is like time numero, I don't know, what's Spanish for 100? Numero uvas. It's a little ridiculous at this point. IGN was like, yes, actually, the new Mario Kart is actually incredibly boring and stupid, and it's like, when the fuck did we start listening to IGN? Probably couldn't make it past the main menu. They're probably like, this sucks. I don't. Nothing's going on. Yeah, we're gonna have literally the worst video game players, and I'm not a good at playing video games, but these people are abysmal, dude. Like, I cannot. I cannot get past the Cuphead tutorial. How do you get past the Cuphead tutorial? Please email me if you know how to get. Please fax me if you know how to get past the Cuphead tutorial. I don't think you can. This game is shit. It is ass. It is, uh, it is bad. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really. I don't really listen to video game reviewers. I make opinions on my own, except for when I don't. I think. My neck is itchy. I don't know what's wrong with my neck. I rolled around in a puddle behind an Applebee's, and now I just have like this horrible rash on my neck. It makes like makes like little noises and sounds. I just want it to, I might have to put a little gauze, a little bandage around it, silence it, make sure it doesn't say anything that gets me into a whole lot of trouble. Because that's our number one priority. Don't get Todd in trouble. Yet, it's gonna happen. Just self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm gonna get in trouble at some point, and it's gonna be for something stupid. There's another motorcycle, and it is. I drive my motorcycle. I interrupt the podcast. That's exactly what I need at this moment in time. More interruptions. I love it. I love it. I love it, dude. I once, when I was a young boy, I was at McDonald's because, that's every little boy's dream is McDonald's, dude. The fucking play place. Come on. But I was at McDonald's and I was sitting across from, like, there was a table across from where I was sitting, and there was this woman there, and I saw her. She had a coffee. I saw her pull out a stick of butter from her purse and put half the stick of butter in her coffee, and it was like, I don't know. That was scary. That was scary. There was definitely real fear there. Like that was primal. That was bad, dude. I know a guy who was the mayor. No, he wasn't the mayor. He ran for mayor of Delaware, and he lost in a fucking landslide because he invested all of his money into crypto. He invested his kids' futures in crypto, dude. Little Timmy was gonna be a biochemist. Now he's a fucking, I don't know. He's nothing now. He doesn't exist anymore. His body was turned into pure crypto coin, man. The future is now. Invest in crypto. 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 Are you convinced yet? Where I live, we have a lot of these little fuzzy caterpillars. The ones that you shouldn't touch because they got the spines, because the fuzzy spines. So you have to smash them with a brick until the fuzzy spines are no more. Yeah, we get a lot of those around here, dude. Got a lot of those around here. They need to go away. Ignorant. Doing a lot of impression on. We're doing a lot of impressions on today's episode. I'm speaking slower as to not make a fool of myself. I think that worked. I think we're good. I think we continue. We can continue. Fuck! We can continue to talk about the fuzzy caterpillars. But you see them everywhere. They're gross. They're an eyesore. They give you rashes if you touch them. Just, I don't know. I saw one the other day and I was just immediately, a great green frown was put on my face. I used to see them a lot more when I was a kid. I think I think the number of them has gone down, has been dwindling, which is good because they're like invasive and horrible for the environment. But just nasty little bugs, dude. Nasty little bugs that you get from gas station boner pills. Just, they don't go away. I don't think there's a lot. Actually, I take that back. We have a lot of invasive species around here. We got, starlings, eastern starlings. They're bad for the environment. They fight all the other birds and piss them off, and they go away. Snakeheads. Snakeheads are pretty cool, though. It's especially cool when they swim up and bite your ankles, and you bleed out because of your Achilles heel, dude. Nasty little snake fish, dude. Good episode of River Monsters, though. I love me some River Monsters. I know I've talked to death about it, but I'm going to talk about it again. Oh, Jeremy Wade, come on my podcast. Please. Please, we can talk about fish. We can talk about fish. I know a guy who was in an episode of River Monsters. Like, he met Jeremy Wade. He was actually, he was like mauled by a bull shark. And after the accident, he was only his head was left. So he had to go around on a little Roomba. So while he's interviewing Jeremy Wade, he's just roaming around the room on a little Roomba. So the camera crew kept having to follow him around with a microphone and stuff. Very upsetting, very tragic. But, now bull sharks are gone. They're extinct, dude. Problem has been solved. We can buy the man a new Roomba to roll around on. I just realized I don't think I've ever seen someone like in real life. I don't think I've ever seen someone bob for apples. Like, that's a big Halloween thing. It's like, we're gonna bob for apples, and I've never seen it. I'm not convinced that it's real now. You've made a fool of me yet again. I told all my friends that we were going to go bob for apples, and they laughed at me, dude. They pantsed me, and they pushed me over, and they called me lame. So yeah, bobbing for apples. Get bobbed, shitiot. I just think a lot of holiday traditions just sort of pass with time. I also I don't know a lot of people who use dreidels or stuff. But that's more so because I don't know people who practice those traditions, so that's ignorance on my part. Rather than the bobbing for apples thing, which I've seen not a goddamn soul do. Not a single soul on the... I'm convinced it's just some stupid thing Hollywood made up to sell apples, dude. Big Apple came in and was like, "You need to sell these!" And Hollywood was like, "Hey, yes, sir." And that's how bobbing for apples came to be. It's not a real thing. Just like taxes, it's not, you don't really have to think about it. That's a joke. That is a joke. That was a joke. Pay your taxes. And bob for apple. You know what? I'm going to bring it back, dude. We're going to do a video specifically bringing back bobbing for apples. The video's going to end with me fucking dead. I'm going to drown in a tub bobbing for apples. That'll be the last of the Rather Than Nothing channel, dude, is bobbing for apples. But that'll be the video. I'll die in that video, but that'll be the video that, like, I don't know, makes me a millionaire. That'll be the one. That'll be the one, boy. It's like when Logan Paul, he only became a millionaire when he posted the video in the word I can't say forest. The word I can't say on YouTube, forest in Japan. That's how he became a millionaire, you know? Maybe. That's a joke. That's also a joke. He was a millionaire before. Um Mario wears a lot of like animal skin costumes. Like I have a big Lego Mario set up next to me, and I'm looking, and he has like a frog costume, and he has a penguin costume, and a flying squirrel costume, and a tanuki. It's like, and a bumblebee. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, sorry, a little. Oh, a little bit of chili came out of me. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, just real odd stuff like that. I know a guy, he did a little bit of work for Nintendo, and he told me that like uh I don't know if he told me that Doug Bowser would like run around the office in a big old diaper and just act like a giant toddler, man. Real odd stuff like that. He would demand his bottle and his blankie. I once heard that he like, I don't know, there was like an intern there and he like ripped his head off because he thought it was like one of them Lego toys, you know? Real odd stuff like that from Nintendo. That's some of that Nintendo creepypasta shit. That's where Lavender Town syndrome came from. That's where you get Lavender Town syndrome. That's where you get Ben drowned, dude. I don't know if a lot of you might not. I don't know how. If you watch a lot of Creepcast, then you probably familiarized yourself with Ben drowned nowadays. But back in the day, that was a really big creepy pasta. Was, oh no, this little boy, his favorite game was Majora's Mask, which is a good game. I'm not putting that out there. That's a good one. A certified banger. But where was I? This little boy, he drowned, and his favorite game was Majora's Mask, and he possessed the game, and then the game was bought by a creepy old man with one eye, and the old man sold it at a garage sale to another little boy, and the little boy recorded his experiences on the interwebs. And it was good. People liked that, but then it just sort of like, I don't know, spiraled out of control. It got in all this, like, alternate reality stuff and cult stuff. And that stuff's cool too, but it was like, I think the simplicity of a haunted video game was sort of lost. It was fun at the beginning, but then it just got way too complicated with all the extra bullshit, man. I think that's how a lot of uh sorry, more chili is leaking out of me, dude. A lot of early creepy pastas, they're either like, you can see where they want to go, but they can't really, like, they just weren't structured well, unfortunately. Like, there's a lot of fun ideas, but because they were all written by 10-year-olds, you can't really, not much there to do, bro. You can't do that. You can't make a serial killer who wears a white hoodie and cut. Can't make a serial killer who cuts his eyelids off and carves a smile into his face, dude. That's giving some bad vibes. Giving some vibes that you do not want. Giving some. I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it now. I'm trying to think what my favorite creepypasta is, just off the top of my head, what my favorite is, and I don't know, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I think when I was younger, 1999, easy. That's an easy one. That's like, that's a classic. You know, an old TV show can't get better than that, man. Some creepy old man in a bear costume. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Kiss me. I dare you. I will give you tongue. But yeah, there were some good ones. There were some bangers. Banger. And a banger. A lot of fun ideas just come from that. Like Hero Bride. Ooh, spooky. Spooky, scary Minecraft sends shivers down your balls. I'm getting a little sleepy, a little tired, so I think I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna take a little nappy, maybe watch some movies or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll like.
What's going on?
Ah, yeah!